Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands on a Radio, where we look at cheap shortwave radio, inexpensive shortwave radios. Shouldn't say the cheap word, but sometimes we get to throw it out there. Today we are looking at one I've never heard of before. It is the Yorek something, Y-O-R-E-K, Yorek is what I'll call it. The YK-901. It is an AM/FM shortwave and digital radio. Not a whole lot of information on the package about it. Not much. It comes to us from eBay for $12.55 with free shipping. Makes me happy when I can do that. And let's dig in and see what we got. Box is a little dinged up, no big deal. We do have a set of earphones. And we do have instructions, which I glanced at briefly because it is just a series of buttons, and wouldn't call this a manual. I would call it an instruction paper, and kind of handy to have with this one. It's like I said, this little guy is all buttons, and so they're multifunction and stuff like that, so you really have to kind of read. I like the design of it. I thought it looked kind of cool. It's 4.5 inches long, 2 3/4 inches tall, 1 inch thick, has a 16-inch antenna, and I think that's all the data I got on it. There's not a whole lot. We've got a sleep scan button, volume buttons here, V minus, V plus volume. M minus, M plus is memory, so it actually has memory. We can tune with these two little buttons here, and band we can select with this little fella. Kind of cool. And if you long press that, I think it goes through the shortwave international bands. Trying to think of, oh yeah, we'll get to the back here in a second. Right hand side, we've got earphone adapter, which is just mono, DC adapter not included. The back side we've got, I can hold it up here maybe if it'll focus, FM, AM standard stuff. Shortwave is 4.75 to 21.85 megahertz. Takes 2 AA batteries, let you look at all that. They go in there. Left hand side's nothing. Top, like I said, is the antenna. It does rotate all around. It's not all bad. This does have a little kickstand back here. We can hold the radio up. You probably can't see it very well there, but it does hold the antenna up at a fairly straight line, so that's a good thing. And of course, we've got the handy dandy wrist strap on the right hand side this time, so that excites me to no end. Everybody knows how I feel about those. And here we go. Power. Oh, I forgot the power button. And I think you can hold it down and lock everything out. So let's just fire it up and take a look. The display may be hard to see. I don't know. I can't see what you're seeing, but I see what I'm seeing. So we'll just see what happens. It's not bad. Then you hold the button down and it'll seek out the next. I don't want to mess around with music too much. Get us all in trouble.
Last night he held it at the Slippery Noodle here in downtown Indianapolis. Okay. Shared some videos on my Instagram.
It's got a really good audio, actually.
We had quite a
There's
bit
our local station. So that's kind of cool. Then we go to AM. Let's just look through that. I don't expect a lot. It's 4:30 or so in the afternoon. Don't expect much on AM, but let's just see if it does anything at all. Skipped right over Cincinnati. There's something. I know I should rotate it around with every click of the button. And I think that just kind of hypnotizes people or something. 1010 should be.
Definitely a budget. Communication
Okay.
is key.
There's our local station.
Just right there, Franklin.
There's Indianapolis. I act like that's a big deal or something. 1510. There's Seymour. Okay. So it's not terrible. I was hoping 1510. Maybe. No. Okay. Let's just try to manually. If I hold the button down, it'll go backwards in its search too. So that's kind of cool. I just wanted to see if I could get down to 700 and twist it around a bit for Cincinnati. Might be as far as we're going to get. I hear something faint, but not really, not much. So, one thing left to do is go to shortwave. Like I said, it starts at 475, and if you hold the band button down, then it jumps into, you can go into the different international bands. Kind of neat, kind of handy. Well, let's just start here and see what it finds. And you can also, boy, it's not doing much at all. It's just picking up a lot of garbage is what it's doing. There, it's going. Also, if you hold the scan button down over here, it'll put everything in a temporary memory slot. Thought that was kind of interesting. But just like there, it found a lot of junk stations. So I was just curious if it picks up anything. May not. I know when I put the batteries in it and I was reading about the buttons and how to do everything, of course I rolled through some of this and it didn't do anything inside. So this may not be as neat as we think it is. It does have a kind of a greenish light to it. Doesn't stay on all the time. There we go, we got something. And that light does help you see it, that's for sure. We just can't see it out here in the daylight though. And it looks like the search just goes through the bands, maybe continuous even. I wonder. Now we'll let this run for a bit. There's not much there. It likes to stop on static. And he keeps on going. Okay. Let me set this down for just a second. Hit the pause button and I'll be right back. Okay, after that brief pause, I did something that I never do. Well, I can't say never. I have done it before and I choose not to. Many comments from people that, well, if you'd hook a long wire up to it, you'd get better reception. I understand that. But what I'm trying to do is show everybody what this radio could do if you just bought it and took it outside. That's what the only common denominator that you and I have is a telescopic antenna at that point. You don't have the exact length of wire that I have or a big antenna or whatever, so your mileage is going to vary if I start playing around with it. I do understand how to make it better, but for the sake of the review, I just choose to leave it stock out of the box, and here it is. Today we're going to do it a little different. I've got a long wire, well, a length of wire anyway, about 10 foot, clipped on to the end here, if you can see. And we're kind of halfway up in the air. Now let's continue where we're at and see what happens. I'm wanting to like this little thing. Look how slow it scans. Oh, this could be a long one. There we go. There you go, little buddy. I knew you weren't all rotten. I just had a feeling that that is the only way this thing is going to work at all, is to have some wire attached to it. There we go. Now the world's getting happier. And anyway, I apologize if my wire rant seemed a little hostile. It wasn't my intent. I just wanted to explain why I do what I do. But you are correct. There is nothing better than having a 400-foot antenna and plug into your PL880. Life gets pretty good. This seems to like to pick up nothing. But it's continuous. I will give it that. It is continuous. It just thinks every little bit of static is a station. Let's see if we can jump to 31 meters. Let's just skip a little bit here. 90, 95, 50, 50 or 55, one of the two. I can't see the display myself all that well. There's our volume. So it actually does something.
Lessen the impact and essentially lessen the count.
There's WWV. So that comes in pretty good. Well, let's skip through that also. Continuous is great, but it's going to really chew into the clock and everybody will fall asleep. That's interesting.
Cuanto a la posibilidad. Hay una cosa que
où on dit constamment il faut une belle coberta com ajuda então.
Solar flux index is 69 right now, so it's not 4:30 in the afternoon. It is not tremendous conditions for shortwave. But we're picking up some stations, picking up more than I thought we would. I just remembered I had that long wire packed in my bag and I thought I'll just get it and we'll just try it, see what happens. Yeah. Huh. I like the fact that it's continuous. That's kind of neat. A lot of these don't go continuous or anything. Let's just skip to the next. Oops, I don't want that. I want 15. Let's try this one. I think we may have better luck. 15140 might still be on the air. No, let's get back down and see if we can. No, I guess not. Trying to hear Radio Havana, Cuba. It does like to pick up the static. This radio would be best if you just went really slow and just click the button and just move up very slowly, because it does have mute on tuning, which is a nightmare. There's something there. Cool.
That try to point people toward the truth. References to who Jesus.
Huh.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, there's that. Oh, there we go. It's easy to miss if you hit the button the wrong time. The band button does some really important features. And you got a long press and short press and all that. That gets a little precarious. Not all bad. Not the worst radio that we've ever looked at. We've seen those go flying off the end of the truck. Now we're up. Now we're getting up high enough that I doubt we'll hear a whole lot. 2145, we can, that'll play out to the end of its scan, I would say. Oh, and it does have an alarm clock and a sleep timer. And then we start all over. Interesting. Interesting little radio. Once we help it just a little bit, I don't know, I had a feeling. I like the looks of it, the feel of it. I wish that we had feel-o-vision to where you could actually feel this. It's just got a nice weight to it. It feels nice in the hands. I like this round, the round speaker, round display. I like that. Definitely a radio that would need 10 foot of wire strapped onto it just to help it out. I don't think we would have got very good results if I hadn't have done that. And so it's not a bad radio. You're going to have to carry around some stuff with it, you know, like a little reel antenna or something, or EEL antenna. You know, something. But it's not all bad. Not great, not bad. Yorek YK-901. Kind of cool. I'm trying to stall, thinking, what in the world am I going to rate this thing as? It's got good audio to it. FM was really good. AM was, you know, but hey, it's the middle of the afternoon, so AM's not going to be very good. Shortwave with a little help, it was okay. Fairly easy to use, one pass with the instructions, and you can kind of figure out the buttons here. Not the most user-friendly, but it's there. 4.6 out of 10. It's not quite a 5, but it's not quite a 4. We've seen a lot of 4s. This one, 4.6, is a good place for this. Not a bad radio, not a great radio, not a horrible throw it off the edge of the truck radio. Just kind of slides in the middle, does what it's supposed to do. It's ready to go home, you know, that kind of thing. So there you have it. Kind of cool. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumbs up anyway. If you make sure you hit the subscribe button, there's a little bell next to that that does something magical with notifications or something. Share it with any of your friends that you think might enjoy a radio or something, or are interested in radios or telecommunications or something, and you know, some kind of geeky thing. Share it with them. They might like it. And also, very important, down in the description box down right there is a link that'll take you to a PayPal that you can donate to the channel through PayPal. and a very safe and secure donation, as we all know PayPal is, I hope. And you can donate to the channel, and all that money goes to buy radios like this and just bring content to the channel, because it does cost a lot of money. Not a lot, but it adds up to a lot, that's for sure. And we need those donations to keep things rolling along. Doesn't matter if it's $1 or $1 and a penny or $5 or 10, whatever. There's strength in numbers, and you know, I've had people give $1 and say, two hands, I wished I could give more and I just can't. Well, if 20 of you all felt that way, well, there's the next radio. So it's okay. I appreciate anything you can do. It all helps to keep the channel going. And that's what it's all about. So with that, I'm going to stop passing the plate. That's my least favorite part of this whole thing is doing that. And yeah, Yorek YK-901. York. Maybe it's a York. Maybe it's a Yorek. Maybe it's a Yorek. It started out to be a Yorek, and it got a little better. YK-901. Good little radio. Find one cheap enough, under $5, I'd say pick it up. It's not all bad. You know, this is the kind of thing you can take. $5, you can take it in your ATV, and oops, it actually got into a mud puddle. It don't matter, you know. And so that's kind of cool. We always need those types of little radios around. It would beat taking your Sangene ATS 909X out and sliding off the ATV seat and slamming into a mud puddle. That would be exciting. That'd be a story to tell the grandkids, that's for sure. Alrighty, it's all I got. Hope you have a great day, and hope you get out and listen to some radio, twist some knobs, and we'll see you at the next review.